And again, thank you for joining our webinar. And I would like to first start with introducing the respectful panel that we have here. We have Mike Polatsek from CybeReady. He's the CEO and founder. We have Fabio Franchi from Coin, and we have Tal Cohen, the CEO and founder of Cyberceps. So let me start with handing it over to Mike to present himself. Mike, you have the floor.
Thank you, Jerome, and I'm super excited to join this webinar for the Latin America. And my name is Mike. I founded CybeReady a couple of years ago after long service with the National Israeli Security Agency. Combining some expertise in learning science and cybersecurity, CybeReady is your perfect perfect environment for leading awareness training programs.
Thank you for that, Mike. And we have Fabio Franchi from Coin. Fabio, thank you so much for joining. I'm going to share a successful success story by Coin in a few more minutes, but please start with introducing yourself.
Oh, hi everyone. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to present this case with CyberReady, and I'm the cybersecurity manager for Coin. Coin is a Brazilian fintech, but we have customers all around Latin America. So mainly this is the resume. After we will tell more about Coin for everyone to know us.
Thank you, Fabio. And last but not least is Tal Cohen. He's the CEO and founder of Cyberceps. Tal, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good evening. Thank you. I'm happy to be with you all here today. I'm a CISO as a service, and also ISO 27001 lead auditor at the Standard Institution of Israel. I'm doing cybersecurity for the last 20 years, dealing with information security, privacy, and compliance. I had the privilege to certify over 500 organizations till today for the ISO 27001 from different industries, finance, healthcare, hospitality, government, education, and so on. And I'm glad to be here as well.
Thank you, Tal. And without further ado, let's go to our agenda today. It's going to be very precise. First, we're going to start with the RSA case study by Mike. You can find out about the cost of one mistake click, what can it produce, and how it can affect even countries. We'll continue to the Coin success story. And we'll finish up with Tal's part about what does an auditor look for when reviewing security awareness training frameworks. And of course, at the end, you'll have the stage all yours for questions and answers. So, Mike, let's present the most interesting case study that I know of, and it's relevant for our time as well.
All right. So the case that we're going to show is one of the most prominent case in the history of cybersecurity. It started 15 years ago, and what we just found 3 weeks ago was on the when the Chinese ambassador to Iran was visiting the commander of the local Air Force. And you can see in the picture that is handing over a mock-up, a model of the Chinese J-20. The J-20 is a air fighter competing with the US or the American F-35. So how come the Chinese can compete with such a prime technology nowadays. So we're circling back to 2011. Back in March 11, a company that I guess most of you is familiar with, RSA, which is providing secure tokens for like VPNs, started to feel something odd. And once they start to investigate, they found out that 6 employees at the HR department received an email which seems super simple, professional, in the right context, and probably one of them was opening it. So here you can find or watch the original email and how it looks and what happened. So before moving to the next slide, if you can just go back or no to the start of the video. Okay, just keep it here. So you can see it's regardless of the content, short subject line, 2011 recruitment plans, attachment, Excel file, and one short sentence, what to do about it. That's the whole story. The click led the employee to an empty Excel file. He saw empty one and closed it. The whole process took maybe 5 seconds, and that's the whole story, or where the whole story begins. So let's move next to the next one. So the email came to the HR department. It was speaking the HR language. It's about recruitment plans. So the employee might consider it as legit, as relevant. Okay. The simplicity is key here. The impact of this simple email led or opened the door to the Chinese hackers, which are, of course, a part of the Chinese regime. And they were able to breach into the tokens of RSA, and from RSA to Lockheed Martin, which is one of the users of the RSA token. Once they could penetrate to Lockheed Martin, of course, they could steal for a long period of time different parts of the plans, of the secrets of the F-35. And 3 years later, they were able to come up with the first model or the first version of their own aircraft, which was quite disaster. But as you can tell, reverse engineering is just a matter of time. And currently, the Chinese can sell their prime technology, which is almost fit into what the F-35 can provide, but their price is cut by half. So when they are targeting different countries with probably with not not too threatening neighbors, they can offer their technology at 50% than the Americans. You all know Mr. Trump. For him, this is kind of a global war. So we are witnessing today, 15 years after this huge breach, which started by one click on a very simple email, we're witnessing today the global war between China and the US. So what can we learn, or what are the lessons? Cybersecurity is not about technology only. And the human shield, your employees, every one of us is part of the security chain. When you have 300 employees, 3,000 employees, 30,000 employees, or only 3 employees, each one of them might have a license to kill. He might be an entry point to the hacker. For a long time, maybe the last 25 or 30 years ago, when I just joined the cybersecurity world, phishing, social engineering was the #1 threat to organizations. Up until today, it didn't change much. So the focus that we are providing is to train your employees until they become ready, cyber ready, professionals against social engineering. And remember, simple emails is just the thing the hacker needs. Not too complicated. Using AI, not using AI, it doesn't really matter. Once your employee is falling prey to the attack, because it seems for him contextual, it seems for him right for this point in time, if he's not well trained, he will fall prey. That's the story. That's the lesson.
Great, Mike. So thank you for that. I have a question that came to my mind, viewing this, and I think that most of the viewers here and security information leaders all across the world are training their employees how to avoid the next cyber attack. But although a lot of companies are trained and training their employees, we're still seeing a huge increase in the number of attacks, breaches, ransomware attacks. Can you think about 1 or 2 reasons why it keeps happening, and what are the main reasons that, although a lot of companies are being trained, we're still seeing this increase?
The simple truth is that the psychology behind these attacks keeps working. So it's a matter of how effective is your training program. That's one. Second, some of the employees might think that they already know it, because the knowledge about phishing or how to avoid social engineering attacks is quite simple. It's not rocket science. But since it's about the context, you need to pay attention. You need to be ready. You need to be on your toes 100% of the time. And that's what the attacker is exploiting constantly. That's the reason. He is trying constantly, and if your training program is not matching the same pace, the same continuity, you will fail. The whole industry will fail. By the way, just last Thursday, last Tuesday, sorry, Microsoft issued their famous Patch Tuesday, which covered about, if I remember correctly, 79 vulnerabilities. 79 only last week or 2 weeks ago. So technology is evolving, always vulnerable. And at the end of the day, your employee is the last or the first line of defense. It's always there. He is always there. She is always there. We need to make them more and more professionals.
Simple as that.
Indeed.
Thank you for that. Let's continue this one. And for all of our viewers, if you are a security information leader running a program for your employees, we are complimentary giving you the option to get the RSA case study presentation. If you want to share it with your employees and your peers and your network, you will be able to reach out to us at the end of this session. Send us a short email, and we will be more than happy to send you the case study that you just witnessed in your own native language. It can be in Portuguese or in Spanish. So more details at the end of this session. Thank you, Mike, for that. Very interesting. And moving on to Fabio from Coin. And Fabio, we were more than happy to hear about the success story. We've been working with Coin for the past 2 years. And first of all, thank you for joining this afternoon. And if you can start, Fabio will tell us a little bit about Coin. What does the company do? How many employees do you have? How long does the company exist? And how long have you been working there? So go ahead.
Well, hello everybody again. As I said, I'm the cybersecurity manager for Coin. Coin is provide financial service and anti-fraud service for customers all around Latin America, Brazil, Chile, Mexico, Colombia, Argentina, Uruguay, and so on. Some other countries in Latin America. Coin exists for more than 10 years. I'm at Coin. I'm in Coin around 4 years. I started Coin to build a cybersecurity team before I joined. Coin doesn't have anything about cybersecurity. It was a shared responsibility with other teams. It's a common scenario in a lot of countries and a lot of companies. And well, the cybersecurity challenges of our teams regarding cybersecurity awareness, training, and human risk. We can say that is human risk, not technological risk.
Just a heads up. We talked to you yesterday, and you gave us all of the answers, and we decided to put them on a slide. So here it is. And about, of course, the structure of your security team and the challenges that you guys are going on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So go ahead.
Yeah, as I said, I started to build a cybersecurity team 4 years ago. Now we have a team of 6 persons. It's a small team. Coin has around 350 persons all around Latin America, mainly in Brazil and Uruguay, but we have some employees on Uruguay, on Argentina, on Chile, on Colombia, and Mexico. And it's a small team, not so small, but it's a small team. I think every company has this problem, that smaller teams to maintain the cybersecurity process, tools, awareness, and so on. And as a small team, we know that the cybersecurity awareness and training program is very important because human risk, it's a vector, and it's an important vector for attacks, phishing, social engineering, so on. And we started I think as everyone starts, to build the manual presentations, webinars, internal webinars for the employees. But it is very difficult to create content, to translate to two different languages, Spanish and Portuguese, because Coin have employees that speak Spanish and Portuguese. And it's impossible to maintain annual program structured, measured, and to show the results to the board or to the directors and so on. We started to do the manual way. It's a start. Everyone has to start in that way. And so we start to look for a platform, a solution that could automate that for us, and that we could have more results. So in the next slide, we will show what are we looking for in a platform or in a solution for security awareness program.
Just to pause at this point for a moment, and I guess that our audience in this session is compiled with all company sizes, and most of them is probably suffering from exactly like you explained, the lean team syndrome. So I would like to bring you back to the part that about 2 years ago that you were searching for a solution, and to present the next slide with the answers you provided us. What were you looking for when searching for a company that does security awareness trainings programs?
Yeah, what we are looking for, it's the main requirements was something that bring us some or complete automation. We didn't want a platform that has a lot of content and programs and training programs, and we have to start to build the training programs and to select what subject we want people to learn or to be tested. So we looking for a platform that has more automations. I think in the other main reason we want in a platform was that the main subject was we want it's written bite-sized format in smart simulations. That's a thing that it's small training, small videos, something that people can watch on a daily basis, not a complete program that took hours to people to read materials, read documents, see videos. And we are looking for a platform that send that bite-sized format in a way that people does not have to change the platform. I'm working on my tools, and I have to stop everything I am doing and go to another platform to be to get my training and to know more about cybersecurity. So we look for a platform that could send this kind of material on a daily basis to people that on the platform that they already use.
And so after making this connection, I would like to present what you saw when you started working with us, and here on the screen you can see a screenshot of our solution, of the dashboard. So I try to give you as much as information as possible in this time frame. But if you'd like to see some more and to see some live demo, of course, you can reach out to us at the end of this session. But on the screen, you can see the left menu bar, which is probably divided to the dashboard part, which is the main view at the moment. And you can choose the different training products, which is phishing simulations, the smishing, fish cages, the reporting button, courses, training decks. This is content for employees, even actual posters, like physical posters you can position on your screen at the office or in the office corridors. At the bottom part, you can see all the analytics. So each one of the products and features has an analytics section that you can slice and dice in every way and every possible view that you can think of. And moving forward to the main view, you can see the campaign number, which week are we, which week and month we are in at the moment. You can see the click rate for the whole organization, the high risk groups, and a few more metrics. Security bytes are the emails that are being sent to employees' email inboxes and addresses continuously. You can see the open rate, the quiz success rate that they have at the bottom of this security byte, and of course, courses, which are predefined courses. This is our content, part of our content section in the platform. Fish cage is the reporting button, and the audit ready. Of course, you can see basic metrics on the right-hand side. And I want to go over to continue the discussion, of course, with Fabio about the results that we are seeing after or during these last couple of years of working with Coin. So let's start with a screenshot from your dashboard about the click rate. Click rate, of course, it's the high level metric of how many people clicked in each campaign. We want it to be low, but we are not afraid of these spikes because we truly believe that people are clicking on phishing simulations and other training products, and once they click, they learn. So we are all about embracing the failure. We have a very positive approach, and we are not afraid that people are clicking. But as time passes by, we would like to see a reduction of this metric. And Fabio, would you like to tell us more about the last couple of years about the click rate?
Yeah, of course. At the start, the click rate was higher. It's normal, it's common. And then we saw after some months of phishing tests that people start to click less and less on the simulations. And now we have a constant average of 5 to 6% of click rate. It's a very low click rate. And a historic of minimum of 2.1% of click rate. The higher one, like 13%, is because sometimes the phishing tests are related to financial subjects and or human research subjects, less the case of RSA. So this is people tend to click on subjects when we are talking about money, about promotion, about something like that. So it's good to test this kind of phishing that it's very common in the market. So it's common that the rates increasing on sometimes, but that's part of the training, part of the test.
Let's go to the resilience score. So this metric is a very interesting one. Is basically resilience score is the average number of consecutive successes between two failed simulations. We expect to see that the longer employees train, the higher the resilience score will be, which is kind of like indicating they fall for phishing less frequently. So Fabio, would you like to tell about the results, Coin's results?
Yeah, it's the same of the last slide. Yeah. On the beginning, people tend to fail more times, 2 or 3 phishing tests people click it. So, but nowadays it's about 10 consecutive phishing tests to people fail, and new employees tend to fail more. more often than older ones, than the veterans. That the next slide will show that with time and training, people start to detect a phishing more often and be trained to how to detect. The practice part is very important on that training.
Exactly. And the next slide, I think that it kind of like highlights everything that you just mentioned. Is one of the things that we would like to see more is the training results of new employees versus existing employees. We would like to have this differentiator or difference because we know that new employees that are coming to a company or starting to work for a company, they are in higher risk than the existing ones. And we kind of like differentiate new employees versus existing. So in the first six campaigns, in the first six campaigns, each one of the employees are considered a new employee. And once they are going through the seventh training, the 7th month, they are considered as existing employees. And Fabio, would you like to share a little bit about the progression of the new employees versus the existing one?
Yeah, well, the graphic shows that the veteran employees click a lot less than the new employees, and new employees click more not only because they are not trained, because they can be trained on another company or where they came from, but because they are new in the company, so they don't know every system that we have, the kind of communication that the company has. So it's more likely that they open and click and read mails that are phishing or not phishing because they are learning about the company they are new. So with the time, hey, they get trained and know the company. I think it's the combination of the two actions, and not only the train. The train is very important because we don't know that every employee is trained before, so we need to train everyone, but it's this kind of scenario. So they are higher risks persons.
Yeah, talking about high, medium, and low risk, we're talking about the risk trends, and again, we can divide each one of the employees to a high risk, medium risk, and low risk. And Fabio, can you share a little bit about the improvement that you were seeing along the time?
Yeah, about new employees are always a high risk when they enter the company, then they tend to lower the risk. But we have some employees that are medium risks that are not only new employees, that we need to be closer to them, to show them how to detect a phishing, not only test, not only the phish case. We need to as a cybersecurity team, to get close to them, to start to talk to them, so they can become a lower risk employee. So the platform help us to train everyone on a continuous way, and we need to analyze these numbers to take some actions person with some person. Né? So it's a combination. Né? The platform do the biggest work, and we need to do something in detail. So it's normal. Né? People that are more trained, it's lower risk employees. Né?
So one last metric that we're going to see is about the fish cage, the reporting button that is being implemented over the email interface. Of course, over the time, we expect the percentage of reporting employees to increase, like we're seeing here. Of course, it takes some time for people to know because, building security culture in the organization is something that takes a bit time. But we're here seeing, a huge increase in proactive reports since the platform adoption. A few words about that before we continue and move on, Fabio?
Yeah, that's what numbers shows, that people are knowing more how to detect a fish, how to report a fish for us, for cybersecurity team. We have the button that's fully integrated with our mail platform, and people are using more than that is functional. And this 300% of proactive reports, the increase of proactive reports, it's only by reports on the fish cage button that CybeReady provide to us. But we see in every day that people are reporting on by mail, by Slack, by chat to reach the cybersecurity team to help them to block a fish or so on. So this 300% is a very huge number using the platform. But we see that people are more engaged with the protection and the coin with another way of communication, another way to reach us on cybersecurity. That's a good point. It's a good balance between using the platform and reaching with us, reaching out with us.
And of course, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if they are reporting on a phishing simulation or on a real suspicious email. We want them to have this instinct to recognize that something is different and they need to be ready, not just to be aware of it, right?
Yeah, right. Sometimes they report false positives, but okay, let me check if it's okay or not. It's better to report something that is legitimate that click on unlegitimate mail. So it's good to know people engage with this subject, with this matter.
Exactly. And of course, talking about the employees reporting and building security culture, we think that one of the most important things are the end users, the ones that are being trained. And what are you hearing from your employees? What are the feedbacks that you're getting from them? During the days, walking through the office, sitting for lunch. What are the feedbacks that you're getting?
Yeah, a lot of people like that the small and the bite-sized format that they can read and mail with the tips, with the quizzes about cybersecurity, how to prevent phishing, how to prevent not only phishing, but all kind of attacks. They like the way the CyberReady show them how attacker thinks or how an attacker do the attack, and not only how to prevent it, because they know they can use that on her personal life, share with family, friends, so they change the mindset. It's not only how I can prevent, but I can prevent better if I know how an attacker make the attackers, not in a technical way. That's a good feedback that I received from people. That it's very easy to understand what I have to do and what they are doing. And I think the curious case is that some team in Arden of Coin look for us, reach out with us from cybersecurity, that they want to replicate this kind of format and solution to train the customers on Coin solutions, not for cybersecurity training, but CyberReady is a cybersecurity solution. It's not a customer training solution, but they like that. They want to replicate something the way the CyberReady do to our customers. It's only a project, it's only an idea, but it's good to know that they like this, the way CyberReady presents everything to them.
Sounds great. And we asked you before the webinar about 3 things that if you had to choose from all of the features and products that we have, what are the main features and methodology that you like most? So please shortly, if you can share about the first one that you told us.
Yeah, the first one is this AI engine in the automated system. I don't need to enter the solution and to configure in the next campaign or the next program, the next quiz, the next mail. This platform, the CyberReady platform, do everything by themselves and adjust the campaigns and the content regarding the last tests and the profiles of the people. And this is a high risk. They send a mail that is more likely to people click and then to learn. So it's full. It's autonomous. It's good. We don't need to spend time every day to go with the platform and check what's happening.
Second thing?
It's a part about reporting compliance. Coin I didn't mention, but Coin is PCI and SOX compliance. So we need to send reports about training, about tests to the auditors. So its platform does everything for us. It's one click and I have the report to send to the auditors, and We don't need to spend a lot of time making the report, seeing the numbers, and so on. The platform does everything for us. It's very good that. Oh, in the last one, we said some in other slides that the bite-sized formatting just in time, that people receive the training on mail, doesn't need to log in another platform and do a long training. So it's a continuous way to train people on a daily basis. It's very good that.
Yeah. And as mentioned, talking about compliance and frameworks, if you can shortly share about the leadership and the auditor feedback you guys are need to move forward. How is it working for you?
About the board and senior leadership, you have a dashboard, executive dashboard, or executive reports that we share with our C-level, that the platform is working, the risks are getting lower, and so on. It's very easy to show them. It's already done. It's on one click, and I had the report. And for compliance, as I said, it says the reports for auditor that on a form that the auditors accept. It's and the PCI and SOX auditors accept the report that CybeReady will generate automatically. So we don't need to explain a lot for them. The platform does it for us.
So first of all, thank you so much for that, Fabio. We're so happy to have you here with us in this webinar, and of course, as a customer, we're seeing tremendous results of your company. So thank you for this great success story. And talking about auditing and compliance, I would like to hand over the discussion to Tal Cohen, the CEO, of course, and founder of Cyberceps. Thank you for waiting. And I guess that this is the right time to talk about what does an auditor really look for when auditing companies across the world. So Tal, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Yaron. Thank you for that. I can say that, I audited more than, I think, 500 organizations during the past 4 years. And I can say that there is a direct correlation between employees' awareness and training to the rate of security incidents, for sure. And this is supported by the fact that over 90% approximately of data breaches is related to wrong behavior of employees. Clicking on phishing stuff is part of it. So for me, information security training is actually the human firewall of the organization. You invest much less money in training than in other technology, and it always compensates. In my perspective as an auditor, the certified organization for the ISO 27001, I can say that there are three things that also me and my colleagues actually examines when we sit down in organizations and watch and review their compliance documentation. So the first one, I'm looking for structures, documented, and the recurring training program, making sure this is not only one-time onboarding session that someone completed 2 years ago and they never revisited. Otherwise, it's like going to the gym once a year, it was nothing. So I need to see that the organization has an ongoing intentional approach to the security awareness education, that they can take it seriously and on constant basis. I want to see that they show me a defined curriculum, a training schedules along the year, evidence that the content is updated regularly, and employees are retrained in meaningful intervals and not just, as I say, once a year and or when the employee just joined the company, because we saw the changes. The changes are enormous during the last 2 years with all AI and also threats. We see over 3,000% increasing in cyber attacks. So we must see employees trained well. The second thing, and frequently, of course, the second thing I'm looking is to see that there is a measurable evidence that the training is really working. I check the completion rate, phishing simulation results, training logs. All this must be documented and readily be available. If you tell me that our employees are well trained, so my next question is show me the data, because data speaks and nothing else is matter. If you can't produce completion records, if you can't show me how employees perform in phishing simulations, and if there is no any paper trail, then from the audit perspective, the training might not well exist. So we want to see results, and this is something that the standards always look. It wants to see effectiveness of the training, and effectiveness of the training. It's not just to convey the informations, but also to measure and to see if the employee got it, understood it, and implemented it. And the third thing I'm checking is the complete coverage, and this is very weak point that many organizations fail. Your organizations must assure that every employee, and here is the point, including contractors, including third party, must be included in the training with no exceptions, no gaps. One of the most common findings, actually, I encounter is that organizations that train only full-time employees, but completely overlook contractors or temporary employees, workers, it's very common, or third-party vendors who actually have access to the sensitive systems of and data, and it's extremely risk. If someone has access to any kind of system or hold any kind of data, they must go through training. And Yarom, if we can go to the next slide, please. So if you can see across all these three frameworks, SOC 2, ISO 27001, NIST 2, there are
These are
many,
just some
many.
examples, of course.
Exactly. Every territory has its own regulation, and every industry has its own regulation, but these are the common standards. The security training must be, and there is a common thread between all of them. Instead of going deep too much inside, the security awareness training must be documented, reoccurring, and measurable. And this is not an optional. This is a big discrepancy if it doesn't happen. In SOC 2 and 27001, you can see that the focus is that the training is covering all personnel, that phishing simulation are actually being done. We see that this is the main way of hackers to attack organizations today with phishing, because it's very not beneficial and very hard to break down firewalls. And so it's better, as Mike said before, to use the psychology weaknesses in order to do so. We also look for a signed policy acknowledgement, which is very important and also required by standards. And we want to see evidence that new hires receive training during onboarding, and not only after a few months they are already got a user interface. And training must be also competence-based and aligned with specific roles. I mean, so you need to match the phishing training level to the experience of the employee and according to its position. It's very important. And we also should be aware, and I never like to use it, but we should know it, that under some regulations, there are big penalties for non-compliance that can reach up to 10 million euros or dollars, and sometimes also till like 2% of the global annual revenue. So we must be aware of it. This is from my side in a nutshell. If you have any further questions now or later, I will be always happy to answer. So thank you for listening. Yarom, the mic is yours.
Of course, thank you for that, Tal. And of course, if our viewers would like to reach out to you, we'll have all of your contact information in a few seconds by the end. And of course, as promised, moving forward, we would like to grant you with complimentary content. Here in the chat, I'm sharing a link for you to download the 5 commandments of how to fight AI-based cyber attacks starting from tomorrow. This is in addition to the phishing simulations playbook that you received upon registration for this webinar. So you can share it with your security team, with your peers and network, and of course, learn and act upon it. That's it. Moving forward, just for a short Q&A session. Thank you for staying here. And we have a couple of questions. And I'm just sharing the last screen. And 2 questions that we have from our audience. Can we get the presentation, the RSA, in different languages? Yes. You can reach out to Valerie. If you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, there is a QR code. You can contact us or email to Valerie@CyberReady.com. Of course, Valerie is our main point of contact in North America and Latin America. And you can ask for each one of those presentations. Of course, share it with your employees. It's a great case study that they can learn from. And the second question, is the platform translated to Portuguese? Yes, of course. All of the content on our platform is translated to 44 different languages. For an example, we have the content translated to Portuguese for Portugal and also in the Brazilian dialect. So also have it for French for France and French for Canada. And of course, we have Spanish for Europe and Spanish for South America. So everything is being implemented seamlessly, translated. So all of the employees are getting the training in their own native language. Of course, on the right-hand side, you can see the right QR code. You can scan it and reach out to Tal from Cyberceps and his team for auditing questions. And if you would like to get a one-on-one meeting just to see a live product demo of what you just witnessed from the Koin success story, our dashboard, you are more than happy to scan the middle QR code and, of course, set up a short meeting just to discuss the needs of your organization. We have a great solution for any company size, any need, any budget, whatever that you will be needing. So thank you again for staying here a few more minutes after the estimated time of the webinar. And thank you, our speakers, for joining us today and telling your part of the story. Of course, you are more than happy to reach out to each one of those. Have a great afternoon, great rest of the day, great evening, and thank you all for joining.